Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to another day of kindergarten with Mrs. R. Today we're going to work with the word family OT. So you can see here, there's a picture of a pot, okay? And so OT says ought, ought. And then we can change the letter in the front of the word to make new words. So with the word family ought, we can add a P in the front and it says ought, pot. Can you think of other words that you could make by changing this first letter? What if we put a C here in the front? Then it would say cot, cot, which is like a foldable bed that you use sometimes when you're camping or in other places. So let's take a look today and see, when we work with the ought family, what kind of words we can make. Let's start off by building some words. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get a pencil. You're also going to need a glue stick, and you're going to need scissors, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do, let me make this a little bit bigger for you, is we're going to trace the words here on the dotted lines. So go ahead and grab your pencil and let's build some words by first tracing. Let's go ahead and trace all these words. So with your pencil, just go over every single word. Now, I know that I might be going faster than you, and that's okay, because you know what? You can press the pause button, and that can control how fast the video goes. So if Mrs. R is done ahead of you, you just simply press the pause button, or if I went too far, you can push rewind and go back. And you can watch it as many times as you need until you feel confident that you know it. All right, so if you need more time to trace all the words, this is a great time to press pause until you're all ready, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the words that we traced. So we know that OT says ought and G says G. So we're gonna put those sounds together, G, ought, got. And we would use the word got like, I got a new bike, got. Okay, let's take a look at the second word. We know that OT says ought. When we put the P in front, P says P. So let's put those sounds together. P, ought, pot. And that was the word that was on the first picture that I showed you with the pot, something you would use to cook in. Okay, here is the next word. We know OT says ought and N says n. So n, ought, not. And this is not the word that you would use like if I was to tie something into a knot that is spelled differently. This is the knot like we should not climb up the slide because it's dangerous, okay? So that's the kind of word not. We should not. It's like not to do something, so not. Okay, let's look at the next one. OT says ought and H says ought, hot. And of course, you know what that means, something that the temperature is really hot. It means it could burn us, right? So we need to be careful with it when something is hot, okay? All right, so the next step in building ought words is we need to cut out these letter sounds. So let's go ahead and get our scissors, and we're gonna cut straight across like we always do on the dotted lines and get these boxes cut out, okay? Not only is this assignment good for learning how to build words, sound out words, practicing our letter sounds, but it's also great for our fine motor skills because we're cutting and gluing. There's so many things you're learning in this assignment, even if you didn't know it. All right. We're writing, we're cutting, we're gluing, we're reading, we're sounding out. A lot of good stuff is happening. All right, so cutting on the dotted lines. Of course, you know the dotted lines mean either folding or cutting is happening, okay? And in this case, we're cutting. All right, so Mrs. R is going to sort out all my letter sounds. So what I suggest is putting all the same kind of letters together. And we know that we're working with the ought word family, so we know we're gonna have lots of T's and lots of O's. So I'm putting the T's and O's together, and then my single letters, I'm gonna put them down here like that, Okay, now if you need more time to cut and to sort, this would be a great time to press pause until you are ready to move on. All right. Now that we have all our letters cut and sorted, now it is time for us to start building words. Okay, so let me get my letters ready here and see if I can make it just a tad bigger for you so you can see it better as well. All right, so let's take a look at the first word we want to build. Got. So we know the first letter is a G. So I'm going to put a dot of glue and oops, oh boy, that happens sometimes when the glue is almost gone. I'm going to grab my letter G, and that's one of the reasons that I like to organize my letters, because then you can find them quicker. So G, and then we know an O. So O goes right there, like that. And then of course, when it's because it's the ought word family, we know that the second letter is going to be an O and the last letter is always going to be a T. So let's grab a T and put that in there just like that. Okay. Excuse me. And then let's take a look at our next letter. P-ot, pot. So we need a P. Okay, so here's a P. And then we need to add an O and a T. And the cool thing about word families is that because they all have the same endings, they're all going to rhyme. Okay, so that's one of the good things about word families. You know, all these words are going to rhyme because they have the same endings. They all have ought in them. Okay, so we've got P, O, and the last sound is a T we need to add when we build the word pot. Okay, now let's take a look at our next word, ought, not. And remember, this is not the word not, like if you tied a string into a knot. This is a word of something we shouldn't do. We should not go up the slide because we could get hurt, right? We always go down the slide. So the first letter we need is the letter N. Oops, trying to use the rest of my glue there and it keeps falling out. So N, and then the middle sound is the letter O. You can see that right there. And then let's take a look at the last letter, letter T. There we go. Ought, not. Make sure all my letters staying on there. Okay. And it looks like our last word, ought, hot. And of course that means the temperature of something is really high, like, you know, like the sun is hot. That's why sometimes we get a sunburn, or this food is really hot and we can burn our mouths. So when something's hot, you have to be very careful. So the first sound is an H. It looks like that. And then we know the next sound is an O. So we'll grab our O. Okay. And then the last sound is, of course, the letter T. Look at that. We're getting so fast at this, aren't we? Okay. All right. So now that we have all those glued into place, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, if you need a few more moments to get these words all built, then go ahead and take all the time you need by pressing pause. Okay, and then when you're done, you can come back with Mrs. R and we can read them together. All right, so let's see here. Let's look at our first word. Let's point to it and read it together. G-ought, got. Next word, p-ought, pot. N-ought, not. H-ought, hot. Great job of building OT words. Now let's go ahead and grab our other second part that we're going to do is sorting with OT. So we have pictures of things down here at the bottom. We're going to take a look, and of course we know on the left side with the thumbs up, that means pictures that have the OT sound in them. And this, so we would cut them out and glue them here. And then the thumbs down, this right side means pictures that do not have the ought sound in them. So let's go ahead and take a look at these pictures, and I'll make them a little bit bigger so you can see them pretty well. Okay. All right, so the first picture is a boy out in the desert. He's sweating. He is hot. These tomatoes and vegetables are getting icky, so they're rotten, okay? Here is honey, lantern, okay, a safe, pot that you would cook in, and then this arrow is pointing to a dot, and this is an X-ray. So the next thing we need to do is we need to grab our scissors and we need to cut out all these squares across the bottom. So what I do is I just cut straight across just like this. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out each of these pictures on the dotted lines. And again, all this cutting is so good for you. The practice will help you so much with your fine motor skills. Cutting and gluing is one of the best ways to build fine motor skills. So I'm going to cut out each one of these pictures on the dotted lines. And sorting these sounds and thinking about the sounds in your brain is another great way to learn rhyme and to learn how to read and hearing each sound in the word. All these things you're working on are very important to help you become a great reader. All right, so here we are. Now, if you need some more time to cut out all these pictures and get them all sorted out and ready to go ahead and press pause now and then push play again when you're ready to join Mrs. R. Okay, so let's take a look and see what words we need to figure out where they go. I'm going to grab my glue stick and let's go ahead and get started. So this is a picture of a boy. He's in the desert. He is hot. Hot. Do you hear the ot sound in the word hot? Yeah, I do too. So that definitely goes thumbs up side, right? Here is a lantern. A lantern. Yeah, a lantern. Okay. And that does not have the ot sound in it, does it? Okay. And here's a safe. A safe. Does safe have the ot sound in it? No. And I'm taking a look at this picture and I'm thinking it could actually be two things now that I'm looking at it, because some of those dots to me make it look like the food is kind of icky and smelly, like it's rotten. But I think actually too, it could mean that it's hot, like steam is coming off. So it could either be hot or rot. Do you hear the ot sound in hot? Do you hear the ot sound in rot? I hear that sound in both of those words. So depending on how you look at it, either word would work. Okay, here's the next one. Pot. Pot. When you say the word pot, do you hear the word ot in it? Pot. I do. P-ot. I can hear the ot sound in the word pot. Here is honey. Honey. Does honey have the ot sound in it? Honey. No, I don't hear the ot sound in the word honey. Okay, here's the next one. And this is a domino, and the arrow is pointing to a dot. Dot. D-ot. Do you hear the ot sound in the word dot? Yeah, you can definitely hear it, huh? In our last picture, X-ray. There's an X-ray of someone's skeleton. If you've ever had an X-ray, it shows your bones underneath your skin. X-ray. Does X-ray have the ot sound? No, it does not. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we've decided here. We have decided that hot, rot, pot, and dot all have the ot sound in them. We have also decided that lantern, safe, honey, and X-ray do not have the ot sound in them. So great job, everybody. If you need more time to finish this, please take that time by pressing pause, and then you can push play to join Mrs. R when you're all done. All right, so great job working today with the ot sound. We built some words with ot. We sorted some pictures with the ot sound. So you got a lot of work done today. So great job, everybody. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.